You're listening to Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tales from the Flipside. Listen, guys, we got a great episode tonight. It's episode 142. Some big news recently dropped about the MCU. We're going to get into some fun stuff with that, some market report stuff. We've got a couple exclusives that we are going to premiere tonight on the show. Shout out Bird City Comics. But other than that, guys, introduce yourselves.
Deno, La Casa is coming together, boys. So hopefully by the end of next month, we're in a new studio, infinity pool on the balconies. You know, we're doing it up over here. So
I'm Nico, your weekend update correspondent with comicbookinvest.com. If you get a chance, please check out my article every Saturday. Also, on Saturday is the Comic Book Strategic Investment Podcast. This past Saturday, I was joined by Trent Claus, who has worked on 20 out of 22 Marvel movies, and that's not even why we invited him on the podcast. He was kind enough to share with us some incredible insight about Spawn. He is the owner and operator of SpawnWorld.com. Really dug into what the incredibly rare books nobody knows about are, so that you can go out and dig them out of your long boxes. This Saturday is Halloween. I'll be taking the week off of the Comic Book Strategic Investment Podcast, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we won't have something cool in store for you Saturday night. So let's see if hopefully I can get the boys wrestled up for a modern playbook episode. Z?
Hey guys, welcome. I don't have anything fun to say today, so just here to have some fun and enjoy the night.
All right, well, I'll talk for John then. He got me this awesome t-shirt, and it's the happiest that I've been since before COVID, basically. So I want to thank John for that. It's awesome. You want to see it again? That's an awesome t-shirt I got. It's amazing.
We ordered it
a few more
COVID,
times,
so it took a while.
Well, it's a child size, so it took a long time. But the point is, I'll show it a few more times. I'm really excited about it.
oh boy, now you can get rid of that Deadpool whatever shirt you wear on every show. At least you can.
Yeah. I've got another one too. I got a G.I. Joe one I'm pretty excited about as well. So, but I'm up to 3. I'm pretty excited. I can get through a whole week if I turn them inside out.
We've got poll problems live here. Jeez.
I have P-Dubs here, drinking and driving.
Jesus Christ.
It's just seltzer water. Just messing with you guys.
Paul is going to a haunted house. He's traveling right now. He's going to do one live on the podcast. So.
That's better than jail. He's not in my jurisdiction. I can't even get him out.
Yeah, it's just seltzer water.
Nice.
Fucking seltzer water. Get the hell out of here.
I got you for a hot second there, though.
All right. Live chat, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys make the show much better. We appreciate you. There's a lot of people in the chat tonight. You guys has been seeing. We're giving what's up to everybody out there. We appreciate you all. Thank you, guys. You make the show a lot more fun. So, all right. I guess let's get into it. Let's talk about Oscar Isaac, Moon Knight. I mean, I'm cool with it. I like it. He's a great actor. He could play any side of the weirdness spectrum. I'm cool with it. What do you guys think?
Brian, for those who are unaware, who is he?
So Oscar Isaac, of course, his biggest movie is Star Wars. He played Poe Dameron in Star Wars. He was in Ex Machina, or I guess that's the movie where it was a creepy movie. It was another creepy role he played was Inside Llewellyn Davis, I think it was called. He was Apocalypse in Days of Future Past.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it wasn't his best role, but that was because Marvel or Sony or whoever fucked
Fox.
that up.
Well,
Fox.
and I'll add to that. I was reading the news about it, and he said, I'm surprised he signed on for another Marvel or a Marvelous movie because he said that Apocalypse role was excruciating. He was in like a latex suit, a 40-pound suit for like 80 hours, like crazy amounts of time, and it was brutal.
And it was bad.
But this isn't that type of
I
role,
know.
you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
but it'll still probably not be light.
Yeah, it's reported by Deadline that he's in talks, but a lot of the tipsters have indicated that he's already signed on. It'll be interesting to see how well he's received. There's obviously a little bit of upset initially. I think people were pretty excited about the idea of getting Keanu Reeves on TV and weren't going to be happy if it was anyone other than him. But I'm pretty excited about the casting. I think he'll do a heck of a good job. And it's nice to see a crossover from Star Wars into the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the chops to do it. We all would have liked to see Keanu, but I think he's almost a little old for the role at this point.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that, dude. Do we think Keanu's just a pipe dream? I mean, really,
he will be in a Marvel movie. I guarantee it.
I know who. I'm confident. The
Reed
one role,
Richards.
Ghost Rider.
There's talks of that one still.
That's the one. I mean, because the reason why he's a motorcycle enthusiast. The problem is, what do you do with him, right? Like, do you make him Johnny Blaze and then have him pass the mantle to a different iteration of the character?
You have Nick Cage come out and he dies on screen, and then just Keanu Reeves walks by. That's what happens.
Yeah, who knows? This could just be fanboy casting on my part, but I'd like to see Keanu.
Oh, here's a great thing. Why not Adam Warlock? He would be great as Adam Warlock.
So, I think a lot of people thought that was going to happen for a number of years, and now with Gunn doing Peacemaker and Guardians of the Galaxy being, in the back seat, there's a lot of people that are.
You got
of the opinion. Yeah, they're of the opinion that it's over, right? That like Warlock basically is integral to the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. Has got like one major villain, one major arc that kind of makes sense, but doesn't make much sense without the Infinity Gauntlet. And they could always cast him as Silver Surfer.
They can't do the cancer stuff because they're already doing it with Jane Foster.
They could always cast him as Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that. I mean, it would be cool because we get Silver Surfer, but I don't want to waste that role on him.
Yeah.
Do you think they could cast him as someone who like Rocket and just use his voice?
They could. I don't know why they would. That's one of the worst parts about him.
This is interesting. This is interesting too. Keanu, John Wick, the Punisher, maybe.
They need to keep the Punisher who it is. That guy's
John
perfect.
Bernthal?
Yeah, he's perfect. Don't even fuck around.
Well, and then the issue then becomes like, do you abandon those characters and for how long? Because the title's starting to revert. You're already seeing people starting to buy those characters again. Now the Netflix rights have come over. So will Marvel take a beat? For me, my investment dollars are being spent on TV related potential moves, just because I think that we're going to be locked in for a lot of streaming content on Disney Plus for the foreseeable future.
I think we have the comment of the night so far. I think he should play the Watcher too, brother. Let's just get the Watcher in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's all I want. A decent Watcher. A Watcher that lives up to the actual Watcher of the Marvel Universe. Doesn't die and they steal his fucking eyes. What a horrible storyline that was. God, that was stupid. All right. Well, I'm stoked. I like Oscar Isaac. I think it's a good role for him to play. I don't think he's too old. I think that when you clean him up and cut that beard and put a little makeup on him, he looks young. He looked young as Poe Dameron. And,
he doesn't look old when he doesn't want to.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys this question about Moon Knight? Because it is a comic book, buying, selling sort of podcast. We haven't seen the massive escalation in price for a lot of the Moon Knight books that people anticipated, right? I mean, there was the initial bump after the news, but it really was an initial bump before the news because the info leaked out. Now with the casting, potentially, will we see, some interest in those Stephen Platt books or some of the rare ratio variants that
It's just think of this variant, bro.
That stuff just never jumped even on the announcement.
Because
really didn't.
It was never I think people still weren't 100%. It wasn't 100% confirmed. We've heard Moon Knight rumors forever for so long.
Yeah, but it got confirmed. What at the D23 or D23?
Well,
D23.
it got confirmed that they were gonna make something. But still, even at that point, you're like, yeah, we've heard that before for Spawn for 10 years. You know what I mean? And Moon Knight has always been that character that everybody's always wanted, and there's talk about something happening, and we always get let down. So I think even up until even Oscar Isaac getting the rumor that came out, everybody was still like, that's bullshit. The first answer was that's bullshit. That's not even if a website's saying it's bullshit. And we had to wait till a couple of websites came out and all confirmed it, right? I mean, that was
do you remember those stained glass Scarlet 9/8? Like that was the one. It went to and again, forgive me if my numbers are imprecise. I don't have GPA up, but it went to $1,200 and then plummeted. I mean, plummeted because they thought potentially she was the character. I think that probably left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Well, that's why you don't play the villain spec shit.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Looks like they're going to cast Bushman. That was the day before the announcement about Oscar Isaac. That was yesterday, I think. Didn't make much of a blip on the radar because his first appearance is obviously Moon Knight 1, Volume 1. But it'll be kind of interesting to see. I'm curious what iteration of Moon Knight they'll choose.
Yeah,
I hope Sienkiewicz gets some money out of this.
I doubt it, but I don't know. I like the more modern ones with the mental health stuff and playing those up a little more.
Well, what character are we getting? Are we getting the character on the left or the character on the right? You know what I mean? Not character, but version, I would say, right?
Yeah, they could go with the clean cut, easier to do.
Yeah, the Warren Ellis stuff, I still call that Warren Ellis. It was Warren Ellis that came up with that, right? That was where that first showed up, was on the Warren Ellis run.
I think so.
Yeah. Chat, let us know. Again, thank you, chat. I'm seeing all kinds of new people show up in the chat. Much love out there. You guys are really awesome. So anyways, yeah, we don't know what we're going to get. And if Oscar Isaac was already complaining about the Apocalypse stuff, what do you think he's going to do about the whole Moon Knight bodysuit and stuff? It'd be much easier for him to throw on just a suit and that pullover thing.
Well, I mean, we've seen it in even the Netflix shows. They really went costume light if they can. Daredevil,
they're gonna be fighting in that stuff and shit.
Daredevil went to something, but I could definitely see him doing it more of a an early version, light on the costume, and maybe occasionally don it, but not spend a lot of time in it. I mean, how much time did we see the Daredevil in a true Daredevil costume? Not a ton.
Yeah. I like that book, Matt. Shout out to Matt Royable. If you guys aren't following Matt and the stuff he's doing in the foreign comics world, keep an eye on this guy, man. He's the real deal, and you guys should already all know who he is because he does a show with Jon Z called Global Comic Safari. The Mexican Phantomos stuff is badass. Shout out to Mike Patton, the world's greatest frontman. All right. So do we go any of the newer stuff spec wise? Is some of that big higher price stuff still out of range? Did it drop far enough? Like the Sienkiewicz stuff. So maybe we need to keep an eye on some of that stuff for our market report stuff next week type deal.
Yeah, we'll see what books are moving. I mean, there's a couple villains that I like as sleeper options, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. too much cape, but also cape can be done with CG very easy nowadays. So,
Yeah.
yep, nobody wears a suit. It's all CGI, right? So, Doc Joe, what up, brother? All right. So yeah, I'm all about that. Nico, what do you think?
If I'm a betting man, they'll leave us scratching our head after season 1 about whether or not he's a schizophrenic or a caped crusader. They'll focus group the shit out of it and then make their decision after the fact. I think we'll probably see flashbacks, both costumes, and again, they'll focus group the shit out of it. I mean, that's kind of the world we live in. People don't have to guess anymore. They just throw it out there and then figure out what works best and what people like the most. I think
Well, that's interesting. We could see all the versions of him at once.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and I don't think we'll have clear answers, right? I mean, if I'm a betting man again, and I am, they'll do it so that they can kind of lock it down, give it to people, focus group it, and then decide where they want to go from there. I think we're going to see a lot of TV, and I think the reason that they sign Oscar Isaac as opposed to Keanu Reeves is they can lock him in for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And that's why I still don't believe you're going to see A-list celebrities on streaming.
I don't
just
know
yet.
about that. I might disagree with that. Has Keanu Reeves been in Star Wars? That was a joke.
No. Keanu doesn't.
I thought it was a good joke. I just try to stone face it so that people actually can't tell whether or not we're fucking joking or not.
I just don't think. I mean, Keanu doesn't want to be tied down. He wants to do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's him. And he doesn't have to do shit if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, but this is going to be good. I mean, it's just good for comics. The funny part is there was somebody in the chat that had mentioned, like, he's a third-rate character at best. The biggest Moon Knight fan I know, right? It's got, like, I don't even want to tell you how many copies of his first appearance. I mean, just like a diehard fan describes him as a D-list hero, which I take exception to, but he's got the right to say it without me voicing too much objection because he's the real fan. I get that, but those people like him that love that D-lister, they love him. And I think Moon Knight fans are rabid. And when the character gets exposed to a longer or, broader sort of fan base, watch out. I don't know where the money will go, but I think it'll go.
I hope it goes a little bit towards the new modern stuff because I'd like to see some of the modern stuff get a jump. I mean, we've seen all that older stuff kind of do this for a while. I'd like to see some of that new modern stuff get a jump because I think it's some really good stuff. I love David Finch, Moon Knight, but I doubt they're going to use any of that crazy stuff.
I mean, there's so many different iterations, and they're all they all have these kind of crazy, but other than that, man, they're all over the place.
Yeah. And Stephen Platt Moon Knight was just absolutely craziness in the art, man. I remember seeing that art as a kid thinking, like, can it get any better than this? And now I look at it and go, can it get any worse than this? Shout out to Stephen Platt fans, man. I used to be one of them. I was right there with you, man. That
I still am. I often ask him, like, where is Stephen Platt?
That one Platt Moon Knight cover where he's like holding his arm out and he's like to the side and he's kind of got his hood off is one of the worst covers that I could think of, and I used to love that damn cover.
Bring back Death Blow.
Thigh muscles have thigh muscles.
Yeah, and cool Prophet.
Yes, yeah. Stephen Platt was badass, man. He's probably still good. He's just been rocking it in the ad world. All right. This G.I. Joe still hot on the Tom Holland, John Cena news. It's more than a rumor now. And the new Snake Eyes film is going to be hopefully awesome because, if you're going to start a G.I. Joe reboot off, you start it off with the strongest 2 characters. And of course, those are Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Just don't fuck around anymore.
The reason I wanted to talk about this was because of the incredible price tag that we're seeing the Storm Shadow first appearance and the Snake Eyes origin issue get. we'll talk about that more on the market report, but it looks like fans are spending big money. And I might have bought a G.I. Joe book, but I don't know if it came. I got my books are still in boxes, so we'll see what's here. But I didn't buy one of those ones. But anyway.
Not bad.
Yeah, were you guys fans of that stuff? Did you watch the Toys That Made Us G.I. Joe?
Listen,
Absolutely.
you guys,
did.
we could have the rest of Flipside just be G.I. Joe for the rest of the time, and I'd be happy if that's all we talked about. I'd be happy, man. Like, dude, G.I. Joe was it's still, when I think of my childhood, the first memories, if somebody goes, think about your child, the first thing I remember is me and my brother dumping out our tub of G.I. Joes and taking turns picking our favorite characters of who we were going to play
All right,
with.
now I have a serious question. Did anyone take them apart and put them back together with different stuff on it? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That was like the thing. I ruined them all.
Yeah.
And I was so happy doing it.
And the first second I had the Sky Striker and the parachutes, they had fucking Black Cats taped to them, man. And we launched those things with water balloon launchers into the air and just watch them float down and blow up. But yeah, man, G.I. Joe, like I'm stoked for anything that's G.I. Joe. If we get lucky and the stuff is great, more even better. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with G.I. Joe moving forward. I'm over here kind of like a little bit excited, but I'm also like, shit, these comics couldn't get out of hand. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. And that also goes with...
Yeah, trust me, the first appearance of Storm Shadow is fucking out of hand. We'll talk
we're-
about that on the market report.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. So we're going to have some fun G.I. Joe stuff moving forward, guys. Trust us. Us. It's great if we can talk about that stuff. And we're all going to have to figure out our favorite G.I. Joes so I can make fun of you for it if it's not Snake Eyes.
It's Sergeant Slaughter.
You still, if it's not Snake Eyes, like, go fuck your mother.
Dude, I'm missing Sergeant Slaughter at a con this year. I was so fucking excited. And then it didn't happen.
Yep.
He's got to be close to death. Like, he's got to be like a top 20 pick in the death pool.
Yeah.
Aw.
I love Sergeant Slaughter. Don't get me wrong, man. Like,
He's not young.
Yeah.
God bless him. I hope he's not watching. If you are, sorry, Sergeant Slaughter. And then the other one is I want to try to get Larry Hama on the Saturday night podcast. So if we can start a groundswell, if you guys will just start harassing him on social media to come on Nico's show.
Yeah.
He won't know what that fucking means, even though I've asked him and he's like, yeah, I'm done with podcasts. But
just tell him and any show on the flip side, man. I'm sure any of us would geek out over him.
All right, fine. I'll let McClay on too. But the
Thank
point
you.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
All right. Yeah, Matt, like, there you go, Z. Let's get some foreign comic love for G.I. Joe down the road. Honor Comics. I don't know what those are. All right. Yeah. G.I. Joe is going to be fun. All right. Let's get on to the next one. Neil Gaiman discussing a Death Talks COVID-19 freebie giveaway, kind of hearkening on the Death Talks HIV AIDS stuff back in the day, right? Was that what it was, the freebie giveaway?
Yeah. So this was cool because, one, DC Black Label talked back. They're like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's get it. And I've always loved that Death freebie comic because I think they're hard and high grade. Nobody kept them. They were small little off-size weird pamphlets. And, good luck trying to find one that's a 9.8. I don't know what the census looks like or how the hell to even figure that out. I tried searching for it a couple times and couldn't figure it out. If you guys can, let me know. I'd appreciate it. But I think that would be cool. Those are the kinds of things that make sense to me as far as socially conscious comic books, as opposed to my politics is right, your politics is wrong, kind of stuff that doesn't make much sense to me. but that sort of stuff really does. So I think it would be neat. I'm really excited for Sandman on Netflix. Really excited to see how they bring that story to life. And if you're like me, it's probably your favorite story. Period. What do you guys think?
I'm right there with you, man. Like, if we can get more Neil Gaiman Sandman, I'm all for it.
I agree.
And shout out to I got a buddy out here. Yeah, excuse me. My buddy out here in Phoenix, my buddy Jose is a big Death fan, and I always, anytime I see Death, I think of he has a sketchbook. He was one of those guys that put together those sketchbooks where they kept him in the book. You know, it was like a actual binded sketchbook, and it was all Death sketches in there from all different types of artists, like some of the biggest artists in the game all the way down to the smallest one. And it was so cool. And he just puts them on his coffee table, and they're amazing, man. I would never do that. Yeah, but it was a cool idea. So very cool.
Sandman's one of those books you can give to people that aren't comic book people, and then they'll come back and be like,
more.
So tell me about these comic books that you read.
Well, it's like, it's been listed on like top 50 greatest novels. Like, it transcends comics.
Yes. Yep. Kind of like Mouse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You talked about the Black Label. Here's some interesting stuff. And we talked about exclusives and all that fun stuff, guys. We had a really cool interview with Scott Williams the other day, which was about the new Bird City Comics exclusive. Shout out to the Bird City crew. If you guys are watching the top 10, Bird City crew helps us on the top 10 every week. They're great. We love them over there. They released this awesome Batman Catwoman #1 from DC Black Label. But listen, this is one of the coolest things. If you guys didn't get a chance to see the interview, I'm spoiling it, but it's still really good interview. This cover, and not only are they doing this awesome trade dress version and this awesome virgin no trade dress, this is the C cover. My suggestion to all you guys is pick up the B cover. The B cover is just the inks, right, over the pencils. And here's what's interesting about this. This is not Scott Williams inks over Jim Lee pencils. This is Jim Lee inks over Scott Williams pencils, because it was a bucket list for Scott Williams to have Jim Lee do full inks over a full cover, like a large piece. And he had never had it happen, and that was one of his all-time bucket list things. And a couple of years ago, he put together this plan, and there's even a 4-hour YouTube stream / Twitch stream. You can find him on both, where Jim Lee is inking this piece and he's talking about it as he's inking it. Absolutely amazing. The B cover is just gorgeous. They left in that like original look where they had the shades. You can see the background. It kind of has the brush or pen movement lines and stuff, however you want to say that. I'm too big of a cannabis stoner. So this is just the gorgeous one for me. It looks like original art, and I love stuff like this. But not only that, it's got a great story behind it. Jim Lee and Scott Williams, lifelong, they've been best friends for 30 years now. They've been working on each other's art for 30 years now. There's a really good video out there of Jim Lee surprising Scott Williams at San Diego Comic-Con in 2017, I think, and bringing him up on stage and giving him a special Rolex for just being his friend for 30 years. And like stories like that are great no matter where they're at, whether it's for comics or anything. Like, that's cool stuff. So make sure you guys go check this out. This is in the Black Label stuff, but you can find this at birdcitycomics.com. But we have 2 new covers that they're going to have.
Oh, no shit. All
yes. Right. And these 2 covers are going to be available over there too. Wednesday, I believe. The Batman books are available starting today, I believe today. And these ones I'm about to show you are going to be there Wednesday. These are gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah. So I really like the Ice Cream Man one.
Ice Cream Man's dope, dude.
Yeah,
wow.
dude. So These are really cool. This is Vampirella number 16,
But
John Royal art, limited to 500. This will be on sale Wednesday. And
Kind of cool vibe.
yeah. Ice Cream Man number 21 is a Megan Hutchinson art, limited to 500, and that will go on sale Wednesday also. So you guys go check out birdcitycomics.com.
Am I the only one that is like amazed that a comic titled Ice Cream Man is on issue 21?
Yeah.
I'm amazed that nobody talked about him holding that ice cream cone all weird.
It's a good cover, dude.
Mhm.
I like this cover, man. I really
You definitely should have transposed those two images. So he was holding the ice cream cone at Vampirella.
yeah.
Hey, what time?
Paul
are they
so-
going?
broke his silence on that one.
Time or no?
Well, so right now, right now you guys can get the Batman ones. The Batmans are 24-hour launch that started at 6 p.m. today, I believe. So there's a 24-hour launch sale where you guys can get some really good deals on the whole set over there. They're really cheap. I want to say they went really cheap on these books to try and get them out to you because they're such a cool cover and cool story. I'm not 100% sure about what time these ones go on sale. They just go on sale. I know they go on sale Wednesday. So make sure you guys go check out birdcitycomics.com and get yourself some really sweet books. And definitely, if you're going to pick up the Batman Catwoman #1, pick up the whole set. Or if you're just going to pick up one, pick up B, because this is a gorgeous cover. Like, just the story and everything. So there you guys go. You guys can see all the cool stuff. Go check out the interview on Scott Williams. And if you guys haven't picked up the Greg Horn piece, check that one out too. So let's go ahead.
Doing big things at Bird City. All right.
There, I like it. And we like helping them out. They help us out. So we appreciate them. Shout out again to everybody in live chat. You guys are kick ass. Yeah. Dr. Manhattan reference. Yes, that is right. JJ Maxwell. Dr. Manhattan reference. All right. Let's see.
Well, that Steve Horn says the whole issue is Watchmen themed, and it's like done in the 9-panel layout and colored that way.
Wow.
So
That is cool, man. That is really cool. Very cool. I like that. I like stuff like that. So, all right.
Absolutely.
Mandalorian. We're ready.
Boy.
It's so close.
I don't even know what to say because I just want to watch it.
Yeah.
Craving
what's
a good
funny?
show.
Do we since it gets released weekly, right?
Yeah.
Do you wait and have like 3-episode binge, or do you just write it right off the rip and just one and
I
wait?
think that last time they did a double first.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's an hour, the first episode. I can't wait. I've got issues, but I do that with comics so that I can binge comics because enough people don't read that nobody really spoils shit for me. You know what I mean? Like, they'll be like, it's the first appearance, but like when it comes to the Mandalorian, like it's a wrap, dude. Yeah, you'd have to like crawl into a bunker to not have somebody spoil it for you.
It's as close as we have as to like the Walking Dead stuff, like people talking about it right when it happens, Game of Thrones type.
Yeah, even if you
Following.
can resist, I think somebody would run it for you. I'd just jump on it quick.
Well, because even last year, not that many people were on Disney.
Yep.
Now there's been a whole year of people watching it.
That's a real Paul's problem.
Yes.
Oh, my buddy. Hey, what do you guys think about the toys?
I
got
am
a
kind
Baby
of
Yoda, but I don't.
out of the vintage toys. Let me go bring those up. As a matter of fact, let me bring those up while I'm talking about it.
It's on
So
the
they-
Instagram.
Yeah, they brought up. That's what I'm going to bring up the Instagram. Shout out to Nico, who
Makes me
you guys-
happy.
You guys, if you guys aren't checking out the Tales from the Flipside Instagram, do yourself a favor, go over there, hit it up, and let's get this over here. Just like
And
this.
don't you're not gonna not convince me that Banana Momoko is an alt secret account for Peach Momoko who watches us. So
If
No,
it is, it's
sure.
awesome. Either way, it's a great name. All right, so these are the new vintage figures that they released for Mandalorian, or that they're releasing for Mandalorian. And Hasbro started doing these retro figures, which I think are absolute dog shit garbage. Personally, I don't get me wrong, I like retro figures, but I like the original ones. at least make these figures look good. Like these figures don't look good anymore to me. Like there's very few ones that look good. The Baby Yoda, like here's the Mandalorian, that looks dog crap. The Yoda is the only one that's worth buying because it doesn't look like a retro figure. Like that Baby Yoda is awesome. I'm all for that. Like
they're gonna sell the shit out of that Baby Yoda.
Yeah, they are gonna sell the crap out of it. But like the IG unit is the only one that doesn't, and the Yoda, Baby Yoda, are the only ones that don't look like retro figures. I mean, the IG does look like a retro figure, but you can kind of get away with it because it's a robot. But like, look how garbage this is. And they don't do Gina Carano any favors, do they?
No.
She got that Lego head.
Yeah, she looks like a Lego figure. Why is she like? Do her some favors, man. She's doing such a kick-ass job. The pins and stuff they released for at a quote unquote celebration was garbage. It had a big ass mole on it that was like terrible, and it turned out to be Darth Vader.
I don't got that thickness going on right now. I like it.
That's fine, but listen, her figures don't have to look like that.
It's just dude. I don't have a problem with anything but the Lego, the Lego figure head.
Yeah, it's weird, dude.
Looks like a Lego.
Look how big her neck is. Her neck looks like Chuck Liddell's neck, bro.
Chuck Liddell's neck.
The Ice Woman.
Oh God.
Put you to sleep.
Yeah, I really hope that they do a better job with these. Like, look how garbage that is.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And they're probably $10 a piece, $12 a piece. Like, I'm very disappointed. But that's just me personally. I've never liked the retro series. It's just way to charge more money and not put out good quality figures. Like, that's why I love what McFarlane's doing with McFarlane figures. He puts out badass looking figures. That's his whole thing. They just got to look great. These look terrible. And I don't mind selling these like online only to fans that want them and stuff. And I just,
McClay, they look rushed. They
look rushed.
Like Hasbro got like a contract late in the game, and they're like, we gotta throw something out for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was the Mando Monday release today, so we thought we'd throw it up. And there's other figures, you know what I mean? Like you can just jump on Hasbro, PulseCon.
Yeah. Shout out to Tales from the Dark Side, Solo Wookie and Marco and the crew, Leaky Trooper. They're going to be doing some really good reviews about Mandalorian weekly, which is going to be fun. So make sure you guys keep an eye on Tales from the Dark Side show over there. They've got some fun stuff, and they did a live show that was supposed to be like a 45-minute quick talk about Mandalorian that turned into a 3-hour extravaganza. So go have fun and check that stuff out.
Yeah, Jen at Comic Aficionado on Instagram
joined
them from the Comic Book Women podcast on Tuesdays.
Comic Book Women on Twitter.
Yeah, this Tuesday they're gonna have Stephen Niles. Oh boy,
and
Halloween!
Shout out to Kev's Collectibles, big Star Wars fan out in New Zealand, I believe. He's got his own channel on YouTube where he talks about picking up some really good comics,
nice.
Star Wars comics. So go check out Kev's Collectibles. But yes, Comic Book Women getting Steve Niles, that's pretty sweet.
Hell yeah.
All right, that's pretty sweet. So shout out to Mama Comics, Lucy. From if you guys ever checked out Drunken Chat or have seen the Comic Book Women show. Lucy is a huge horror movie fan, and she's
got her own channel, right, where she does horror themed stuff on YouTube, which we'd encourage you to check out. Give her a like and a subscribe, and then don't forget about everybody's favorite top 10 host. I know that you guys don't show up for Mel. Laura from Bird City joins Comic Book Women every Tuesday. I show up for Mel, but I know everybody else shows up for Laura.
Yeah. I show up for Stein. I give Stein some love.
Sorry, this one is Comic Book Women. They're on Twitter. We're trying to knock down an IG as well. I don't know if
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Tweet.
Yep.
All right. You guys want to get into some market report stuff, Z?
Sure.
All right.
The mad genius Jon Z with the info. I can't wait.
Hold on here.
All right.
Hey, I'm glad you're back. I don't have to carry your ass through this thing.
All right, you got it, Z?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
That way, I named them for you to try and help you out.
Sorry, I wasn't mentally.
Yeah.
Okay, since we were on Star Wars, this guy popped up. Star Wars Annual 4, the 1 in 25 John Tyler Christopher variant from 2018. There's not much GPA data on this guy. There was a 9.4 in April for $73, and in July a 9.8 went for $385. It's a badass cover. I couldn't tell you how many there are. It doesn't.
It's a pain in the ass.
A high ordered book.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, I promise, because I got 7-8 short boxes, and I got one copy of that book, and I hit them before all the keys went crazy, and I would have bought any copy I saw, and I found one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 1 in 25 of an annual. So
I think that's the record setter for a JTC variant too.
What? Really?
I bet for a regular, I think at one point that SDC Luke was pretty high when he first did action figures.
And wasn't the SDCC Wolverine like a couple $1,000 9.8?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't recall on that.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Let us know if what you guys know.
Okay, the next one was since we're on Star Wars, I figured we just saw an air sale. Just following this book. The high we've seen on a standard is 545. Again, this is one of those books that GPA and CGC actually track separately, newsstand and regular. There's 104 9/8 of the standard. The newsstand is trending near 700, and there's only 8 9/8. So we'll see if there more pick up. But right now, the scarcity of that newsstand is 1/10 of the other one in the sense of
Yeah, I think the scarcity is a big thing, but is that cheap? That seems cheap to me. I don't know.
That is cheap. That does seem cheap to me.
Not saying that you couldn't find them in dollar bins back in the day, but I mean, for a great 9.8, it seems cheap.
Well, I think Air was a pretty big series for them, though.
Yeah.
Dennis, if you do suck at that, make sure you guys keep an eye on the Dark Side show, and also there's some really good articles over at comicbookinvest.com on Star Wars stuff. And
Yeah,
I
in
know,
fact,
Dennis knows about this. So
Yeah, this last Saturday's weekend update, I basically am like, hi, here's the 5 articles that if you just go and read them and use them as a reference point, you can annihilate back issue bins if you find someplace that hasn't already had their Star Wars books decimated.
And then don't forget about the comic pack, the Star Wars.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
So that
can you make that? Yeah, can you make
one
that big?
one second here. And the thing about the comic pack, also, you guys, that's important to remember is super hard to find a high grade. So if they're still in if they're still sealed figures, pick that one up instead if you can.
Yeah, I mean, the book, man. If you look right here, there's a package point where it's almost guaranteed to color break, and then you got the figures in there. I took one out at one point, and I won't do it again unless I can absolutely 100% see a perfect book. But they get so many folds from just, they were hanging on hangers or sitting in boxes, and the book just get a wave to them, and they're just hard to press out at that point.
Was that an Entertainment Earth exclusive? Does it say Entertainment Earth anywhere on the back or front?
I don't see that.
Okay, because a lot of the comic packs out there for the Star Wars figures and some other toy lines were Entertainment Earth exclusives, and they didn't actually go to stores. A lot of those comic packs were Entertainment Earth exclusives. So,
all right, got a couple vintage listings for you just to show off. LB Cole cover. We talked about this one 3 weeks ago on the CBSI's Vintage Voyage.
I thought it was going to get cheap. I was watching it all the way to the end, and then I was like, oh, nope.
If you missed it, check the article talking more about it on comicbookinvest.com. But Ghostly Weird Stories 122, a very classic LB Cole cover. Price-wise, they probably did pretty well. I didn't get real into the grade on this one and check it too much, but
it presents higher than it will grade.
Yeah, a 4.0 sold for almost $2,000 this January, and there's only 49 in the census. So not an easy book. It's a pretty looking book just from looking at that cover.
That's a tough book, man. It's got the almost like the really cool space stuff with it. It's got that like
Mars Attack feel.
It's also got the Black Cat like radiation type stuff going on with the
It's also a UK edition to watch out for.
Ooh.
So
interesting.
Ooh.
Next one. Menace, number 2. Real low on the census. So when I happen to look at this, only 33 in the census, a high being a 9.0. This is a Bill Everett cover. A 4.5 went in September for $560, and in January a 4.0 went for $720. So this being a 5.5 at $700 feels like a real good grab.
Yeah, I didn't see this until after it was too late. That's a really beautiful copy.
I agree. So this next book gives me a personal nightmare. When it had to be 8 to 10 years ago, I was just kind of getting into Golden Age, watching random auctions, and Baker wasn't talked about then. I had tracked this down as just somebody had mislabeled this book, and I was chasing it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a long time ago, so a lot of money to me was $100, $150. And I bid on it, thought, man, I'm going to walk away with this one for $20. And I had bid, 100. And then next thing I know, I watch it go away at about 2.25. And I'm like, what happened there? But somebody else had saw it, knew what they had, and walked away with it. I wish I had gotten it. It was a nice looking copy. But This one here, which was sold as a fine, sold for $1,500 and change. 9.4 top sale was a $7,200. And this year, a 7.5 went for $1,500 and a 7.0 for $19. So you're paying market for it, but it's a tough book.
That's a crazy book, man.
Baker. This next one, this book it's hot, but to me, it's fool's gold. It's just that Charlton people don't have it out. It's around. They're in bins. You'll find them. We talked about it last week with the Blue Beetle. Forever they were tough to find. Nobody had them because nobody knew to look for them. Now this series is probably a little less common because it's a war series. Charlton books are crap as far as material made. You won't find a ton of high grade ones out there, but you might find some. I used to be able to find them here and there if I was looking. This one was just a raw sale for almost $550. There's currently only 22 in the census. I am sure that number is going to climb as we watch the next couple months. There's a high of a 9.6, 2 9.2s, several 9.0s. Highest sale I saw was in this month was a 2,900 for an 8.5, an 8.0 for 14.25, a 7.5 for 21.84. In July, a 6.5 went for a mere $300. So if you're sitting on one of these, especially in that mid to the 7s and the 8s, I would probably get out of it, man, because I think there's going to be a lot more. If you're the guy sitting on the 9.6, 9.4s, maybe you can hold, but man, I would find it a very risky play if I were you. I just have seen this played out with some of the other Charlton books.
Solid insight. Although I'm still butthurt that I sold my copies for basically nothing. But congratulations to the buyer.
I sold them right before the news because I had them up because of the movie, and then the show came, and I was like, "Oh, I just sold 2." I got $275 on books I paid $10 for. I'm not going to cry about it. I could have got $500, but we don't look back at that.
Amen.
This one you picked out, and is an interesting book. Invaders 1.
I was just like, wow, 9.8s, $460. Okay.
This is one of those books that kind of gets chatter now and again, and I was more just surprised to see where it was.
It was in an auction too. Like it wasn't like somebody paid that as a buy it now. Like that was a no reserve auction with 32 bids, racked out $460. I was like, that's interesting that there would be that much attention that people would see that.
It had been trending in a high $200 book for years. In the late teens. 2018 it was $286. 2019 it creeped up to $315. 90-day average hedges up to 455. So it's one that I think just you're running out of number ones to chase. It's a cool kind of retro story, decent, team up. So people are chasing it.
And forgive me, I'm a dumbass. Is it like a first appearance or anything, or?
No, it's just a team up.
No, so that's like those are the timely golden age Marvel heroes. For a long time, there was like chatter about them introducing the Submariner and the android Human Torch, who pseudo sort of kind of cameo appears, maybe arguably, in Captain America, the First Avenger. They thought that the time travel piece that had leaked out was going to result in them telling the story of Steve Rogers. I don't know if there's more chatter about that on the QT but people wanted the annual number one, right? It wasn't this Invaders number one.
Yeah, it was the annual, was the last Schomburg, right?
Exactly.
But this book has been one that people collect. It's kind of like Champions ones and some of those other team up books. I don't think it's ever going to skyrocket, but people do, chase it. It is not the easiest 9.8.
Well, and if they introduce the Submariner, like I think everybody is pretty confident they're going to here in Phase 5 with the Fantastic Four, maybe you replace Falcon and you actually have that team.
Yeah. Shout out to Christopher Colbert, who earlier in the show said that character, along with Silver Surfer and a couple more, are locks for future MCU. And I think we all agree.
Yep.
All right. Highlighting this book just to touch base again. We saw it sell last week for $14.80. And I said the all-time high was $16.10. Well, new all-time high at almost $1,800. So there you go. Just
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
It's because of our show. I just want to say
that. Another book that doesn't need introduction, but holy shit, continues to amaze.
Oof.
Albedo 2. This was listed as a very good find. It presents really nicely. I don't know.
Yes,
I can't believe that sold for that much for a very good find. That means how rare is that book?
I don't know if there's like somebody's figuring they can press it, all that stuff. I mean, I think they've heard the print run rumor at 2K. There's 230 in the census is all.
Yeah, but that was 2K, then a fire.
Yeah. 9.8 sold twice this year. A standard for 20K and an SS remarked for 29K. Wow. The other kind of sales for this year, January, there was a 2K 6.5. January, there was an 8.5 for 3,200. And in September, an 8.0 went for 6,500. It feels like a high buy-in for this book unless it's really got some pressable defects or the market is just so hungry for a copy they wanted one. I don't know. I think with the scarcity on this book makes trying to assume price and value real tough. People just want a copy.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Wonderworld, that you've had two. Like, holy cow, man! I've never seen this book in person. I don't think.
You guys want to hear a cool Stan story? Stan was at Heroes Con last year when I went in Charlotte, and our guy from Indy, Z, who spends a lot of money, book money, dude. He goes over. He goes, hey, he wanted to get Stan he wanted to get Stan's autograph. So he paid $20. Stan signed a piece of paper, but did this cover, like a quick sketch on his piece of paper too. It was dope for $20, man.
Wow.
He told me it was his favorite cover. He just did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Stan Sakai is a really, really nice dude when in person. You go up to him, and if you're an Usagi fan, you just let him know you're going to walk away with at least a head sketch for free. And he's just super nice and really easy to talk to, and just a cool dude.
It's awesome.
I mean, I've been watching the foils just to see what they do, and they've sold a few at decent prices, but I would hold on to those because those are really beautiful, and there's just not another version of this cover. So
I was going to ask you if you saw those, if you were taking a look at those, because those were like, for the longest time, those things were available at good prices. I was surprised they lasted so long. The chibis might still be available.
No, they're not.
They're not.
A lot of the flippers got there late, so they've been flipping the remarked and the signed. A handful of the plain ones have sold in the 70 or 80. There was a 9.8 that sold pretty high. I have mine sitting there. I'm probably going to grade them because I think they got shots at it. But it's a pretty ass book, so just keep watching that one, I think.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the fans kind of got the early ones because, they weren't selling quick. It wasn't like a bot buying frenzy like sometimes it is.
I don't think anybody really knew about it.
Agreed.
This is interesting.
That is very interesting. I would love to hear more about stories like that.
Yeah, Wonderworld just picked up a lot of 80s, 90s comics. Actually, I saw on Instagram.
I want to give a big shout out to Wonderworld because I just received in the mail a book I bought off of their eBay store recently that I'll be showing in pickups tonight. I can't remember which book it is, but one of them are from him.
I gotta get down there. He invited me to come down and check it out. I just need to. I've been moving and
Yeah.
All right. Talk some Star Wars. Let's talk about the big boy, the Star Wars 1. This book is an interesting book to look at for market trending. Just FYI, there's some sales of newsstands in the GPA data. So newsstand will travel a little closer to $22.50. Not a huge premium on the newsstand here, and I don't know that it should be just because it's early on, but just wanted to put it there that there are some outlier sales when you look. Pre-news of the new trilogy, this book was a $500-$600 book, maybe even a little less if you go further back. Then in 2015 was the highest sale of all time at a little over $3,000. 2018, you could snag one of these on the right day for $600. And now it's been trending back up because of all the Star Wars frenzy. So you're back at $2,000. I mean, this is a book that you could have either made some serious bank on or lost your ass on buying and selling at the right and wrong times. So interesting to see the waves. And this one's been a long one. So, all right. A little G.I. Joe.
Yeah, holy shit.
I don't know on this one. This feels fishy.
Well, so about 2-3 weeks ago, my buddy Keith, shout out to Nerdbox Comics. You really should check those guys out. They've, if you're interested in Static, I think he subbed like 23 for 25 or 24 for 25 9/8 and is running a deal on them on Facebook. But anyway, he told me that this book was moving a couple weeks ago, that there was just like this sort of quiet escalation in price. And it went from like being $1,000 to like $2,300, and now it's at $3,000. And I'm just like, well, okay, that was ASM 300 that I thought was crazy and bullshit, and now it's this book next.
I'm not surprised a single bit that this book is selling for this. This book is so hard to find. Over the years, to find one of these in high grade is freaking impossible. And like Wonderworld said, it's one of the best, not just Joe stories to own, but stories in comics. Like, it's like an iconic story, an all silent story that's told, it's an amazing story too. Like, it's hard to pull that off and to have such an iconic character. Yeah, man, I love seeing this. And I don't own one in 9.8. I don't own any in high grade.
There's a natural and an unnatural price escalation.
Yes. So can we talk about that?
So let me give you some raw data quick. 2018 was a $1,000 book, 1,000 and change. 2019, $1,000 book. Most of this year selling 1,200, 1,400. That's good growth. 20-40%, great. On 8/24, a newsstand sold for 2,600. And then this guy, a book that is this common shouldn't, not common, but we're not talking albedo, It's not uncommon. The 9/8s are hard, but it shouldn't almost double to triple in price in one sale. I think this kind of is like your theory of it takes one person to have a bad, a questionable sale and somebody to follow it. And then you have a trend. I just don't buy that it jumped that high. I really don't.
Even with a movie coming out, the talk of the characters and
I don't know. I could be wrong. I just don't buy it.
the movie's coming out at the same time the hobby is doing. They're both it's like this. You know what I mean? So they're meeting. The hobby's going crazy. This is a book that I think should have been high priced. Should have been like thought of as ASM 300 level.
It is not
the whole
ASM
time.
300.
I put it up there, bro. I'll be honest.
You are like 100% GI Joe.
I am a homer. Fucking A.
I'm just saying. I don't think it's gonna sustain.
God, I hope it does.
Listen,
And
I'm
I don't
very
own
often-
one, guys. I'm saying I hope it does, and I still need to buy one. And I'm gonna end up buying at the highest if I, like I like this. I love this book, man.
Oh, hey,
Fucking love it.
FYI, with
1,000
respect,
fuck that. I'm not spending $1,000 on it.
hey, FYI, with respect to the Star Wars book, the newsstands do not carry a premium.
You're right.
Yeah, you ready? There are only newsstands of that book. It came out in 77. 79 was when the direct market hit. Yeah, 79 is when the direct market hit. So anyway, back to this one. Look, I don't know. I'm just shocked anymore at these sorts of things. And, frankly, I like seeing people buy older keys, but regardless of whether or not there's chicanery, the massive quick spikes in prices are disruptive in the market. And, the question is going to be, will it stick or will it drop back down? I mean,
okay, so let me talk back on this thing again, because we talked about, the nostalgia factor and some of that, because, I love the Crow one. And I talked about that book probably 10 times this year as the sales kind of slowly creeped up on the 9.6s. The first one was, it was a $600-700 book. And then I said, hey, look, there one sold for $8. And then another couple weeks later or a month later, oh, this one sold for $1,000. It had dots, and there's no dots here. This one just,
so it goes from $1,000 to 2 Gs to 3 Gs over the course of
a couple months.
That's the issue.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have seen some sales of it climbing, I'd feel better about it. I just don't buy it. This also isn't like a, look at the picture we're looking at.
Let's talk about the printings real quick and what I know and what we know. And this is something we're going to really take a look into, guys. So we're going to talk,
right?
Yeah. Yep. Actually, there's more. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's an action figure variant of this.
Yeah, I didn't even
Heir to
count.
the Empire.
Yeah.
There's foreign variants. There's the Canadian price variant. I don't think
there's a retailer variant. New Dimensions got one.
So many books reprint this issue. The Reniger Michael Turner cover is a reprinted issue of this, and that's an image book. I mean, like, this story is a big reprinted book, so there's a ton of printings. But there are 4 printings. There's the 3 printings, and I guess you'd call newsstand, I would guess, or I don't know how you would do
Canadian.
that.
I was going to do
Canadian.
first, second, third Canadian, because people get excited about Canadian shit. Makes no sense to me. If you have a Canadian Golden Age book, it's like 75%. If you got a Canadian copper book, it's like 300%. I'm like,
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I will say.
See that this isn't a Canadian, not listed.
Oh, wait, is this Canadian?
I don't know.
Does it say 90 cents up there? So, anyways, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I don't know which printing is rarer. Like, some people I hear say the second is harder to find than the third, and for the longest time, I've heard people say that there was no second printing because they could never find it. They could always find the first and the third.
Listed as a second. I looked for it when you brought it up, and I've never tracked one.
Yes, and the Reniger foil is a grail for G.I. Joe fans.
Not a Canadian. I was just thinking maybe that would explain it. Why it went.
Yeah, no, the book's been jumping. I don't know if one of the buying groups is pushing it. If you know what I mean, who knows? But the point is, it's cool and it's newsworthy, and people need to be aware of it because, a heavy tide brings all ships home. You're going to watch the price on those lower grade, mid-grade books escalate as people get priced out of the high-grade copies. And I can attest, I think I've got 3 copies right here. 4. There's one that's in halfway decent shape.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they got read and loved.
Yeah, which is cool too. But
all right, we can agree to disagree on this one, and I will for sure.
Look, I think it's as fishy as ASM 300. Please don't mistake what I'm saying, and I don't think it's healthy. But as far as escalations go, but I hate to be the guy that cries a foul without anything else. This was wild too.
Hey, George.
Yes, sir.
Are you pumping and dumping this book?
Which one?
The G.I. Joe Grail.
The one I got 4 of?
Yeah. That's considered a G.I. Joe Grail forever.
Oh.
Well, let's. I'm gonna talk about this too a little bit. Do we think the McFarlane GI Joe special number? Yeah,
Yes, that book is going to skyrocket.
It's tough in high grade, man. It just really is, and you can't find them in bins anymore. Like at least with the GI Joe 21, they're still in bins. This sucker's still in bins too.
Well, so this one you sent me, it makes less sense when I looked at it. There's no issue number listed on this listing.
It's issue 21 or 26, right? Yeah, 26.
So I got digging, and on 10/25, the same issue, same grade, sold for $99, and within another couple days, there's one for $157.
Ooh,
so
we got some.
This one go 6 times that.
Okay, now, so what does that that substantiates the other sale is suspect? At least it makes it more fishy. And then the next question is or am I just, connecting dots that aren't there? I don't know, man. It's just
there's no logic to this book. It isn't even listed with the number.
Right?
There is logic to this book. There is logic to this book. It's Snake Eyes' origin story.
I understand, but not you could have bought the same book the day after for less.
Oh, I get it.
Really?
$99.
Yeah.
Hey, and McClay, let me ask you this one.
Fuckery afoot on this one, guys.
Let me ask you this one. Is the
shout out to Chat Son.
Is this actually Snake Eyes' origin? Because I was told by somebody that it might not actually be his origin.
Now we're getting into Star Wars stuff.
Sorry.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry.
But
anyway,
listen,
I'll stop. I'll stop.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah,
right, I'm stopping.
Yeah, listen, guys.
All right, so this is the outlier. We're sure that this sales suspect.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. We can't
Christ.
tell anymore. It's so hard to tell, bro.
I know.
I feel like it is, but I don't know.
When I see 2 that sold in the same.
Now, hold on. There's 2 printings of this book. You guys are aware of that.
Yes.
I don't think the other. They all look the same to me when I looked. Here, hold on.
Then the next question is is this the second print and the other was the first print? And why the hell don't they write that? And
I'm looking. I'm just making sure I can't see anything quickly. I don't see any difference between
Rain and Threes, man. Oh God, consistently great
They
comments.
look the same.
Rain and Threes.
they're the same book, right?
As far as I can see.
So then the question becomes, again, and I hate to call any sales suspect. I do, even though there are some where I'm like, oh, not enough evidence to substantiate the price. But boy, this one's interesting. I think, yeah, and I think it's important for people if they saw it to just go and dig more for the love of God and share your research with us for crying out loud. We're interested.
We don't know it all, but Jesus Christ, we're going to call out stuff that doesn't seem right.
This is a great point by Ultra, and shout out to him. This is a great point. Listen, some of these guys, I feel like don't realize how smart the people are that are, and I'm not necessarily saying everybody's a $10 comic cop, but listen, some of the ones that are out there should be detectives in their own right because they're going to figure this shit out. And
Quick, fast, and in a hurry, dude.
Yeah, you start, playing in these murky waters like that, and you get found out. Listen, that's the way it is. So don't do anything stupid. I've heard Ultra say, and I've heard many, many people say, and one of the things I've heard Ultra say is that integrity is how you act when nobody is looking. And it's also how you make money in the comic book industry, because there's $10 comic cops out there that will fuck your shit up.
Oh, you know what? I lied.
What's up?
The 99 is a second print.
Well, there we go. All right, next book.
The other ones.
Next book.
So Jon Z is not a $10 comic cop.
No, he's not really good at it, but it's okay. He's still our
but
best
it
friend.
brings up good communication or good conversation. So
yeah,
we'll move on to the next one.
Well, and look, so here's the cool part, right? Here we've got a second print going for Jack Taco because it's not a different cover, it's whatever, and older collectors preferring the first print. It's just all interesting, man.
Okay, it is. Oh, I get it. I missed it because the new case and the old case say the second print different places.
Yeah.
Sick.
I was looking in the middle and it's now on the side.
But it's still, again, it harkens back. Like, listen, this G.I. Joe stuff could be something to keep your eye on, right?
Oh, it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
It's nostalgia.
It is.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm going to be looking for copies of that book that are 9/8 contenders and subbing them forth fucking with.
Yeah, there we go, John. In foreign currency, please. That's how he'll get the shit.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Hey, I fuck up at least once a week on this.
But going back to what Ultra said.
Sometimes you're doing this research and one day, man, we fuck up. But
going back to what Ultra said, listen, like, don't be a buffoon. Like, if you're selling the same book over and over and you're not, I don't know, maybe we're giving people up. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it. Shit.
I don't know. It is what it is. Watch it. Make your own decisions with your money and just be careful. This
is another great point. G.I. Joe 63 second print, which is the school variant, I think, right? The Reed variant or the Fun Time variant or whatever. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
All right. We are on to a run of.
Damn.
Oh, I wish I had this book. I wish I had
one and sold it. Long story short, that was a Baltimore. Whoops.
Oh, I wish I had this book so bad.
Just more of the trend on this guy. There's been 3 sales in 90 days.
Yeah, one was like a G, right?
July had the highest at $9.90. It's trended a bit down, but still holding fairly strong. You didn't lose your butt on it if you bought it. In comparison, another of these null type books.
Hold your ass.
Holy shit.
I told you. Remember? All you motherfuckers, I told you.
We're going to be on this one for a while here, guys, because this blew me away. When I was putting together these images, I got to this book and had to pause and do a little bit of research.
So on July 12th, the high sale was $1,000.
Just because she danced the go-go, that don't make her a hoe, no.
This, third print, rare book, third print. There have been 99 sales in the last 90 days. Now, it's been a slow descent from this 1,000 to 5 or to 450. It was 900, 800, 700, 600. So it's just been the undercutter wave has been going for 90 days. But when we talk about rare third prints versus like a 1 in 25 that sometimes get pushed aside, the 1 in 25 has had 3 sales. The third print has had 99. That's documented sales, How many have happened outside of? So just
now, guys, here's the big question. How low does it have to go before you buy back in?
Was there multiple copies?
Yeah, that sold around this price. Absolutely. This was as low as it went. The other ones were like in the $550, $525 range.
Man, I don't know.
It's interesting though, right?
I'm not smart enough to play this book. I'm not.
I don't know if I am either, but it's definitely enticing. I'll tell you that much. I'm like, I'm sitting here, my palms are sweating. Like, oh.
Well, I mean, like, listen, on the books I understood more, like Deadpool and Harley, I was watching and going, what's my buy-in number? When am I doing it? And you know, I'd just pick that number that's just a little further down and never do it. And they go back up.
Oh,
But
man.
again, you know, if Kate screws the pooch on this storyline, then
exactly. And if he does die, if they do kill him off, holy shit, that changes everything, right?
I find it hard to believe they will, but we've been kind of looking at some long history books. I got another one for you. The ever popular Spider-Man.
I love that book.
So what piqued my interest, because I wasn't even going to cover it, but I remember years ago I sold a 9.0 for close to this price.
Yeah, it's tragic.
There are the 9.8 price is about $6K. The 9.6 price is about $15. This is a 9.4. In 28. So this book has sold in the same price range. Now, highs and lows. So there was a high as far back as 2006 that was sold in this price range. Let that sink in. 15 years ago, this book sold at this price. Now there's highs and lows each year, so there's ups and downs. But somebody paid.
You guys would agree with me that when we were kids, I'm confident this was a more expensive book than ASM 129. This was the book. It's the one everybody wanted.
It was a big boy book.
It was the story that defined Spider-Man for the next 30 years. And I love it, man. We're getting to the point where this thing's cheap enough that I might have to buy a high-grade copy, stick it in a box, and it'll be just for me.
You know why it's
the highest price on a 9.4 was in 2018 for $1,300. Just point of reference.
You know why this sold that? It's the Spider-Man label.
You think it sold for less?
Yeah, because of the Spider-Man label. Look at CGC. So I got one of these. We had one of these with a Spider-Man logo. The sticker's covering up the logo. Why would I want to spend it? It's just I don't understand it. Why wouldn't they just move that over? You know, it's one of my irky things with the whole pay for a label then cover up half of it debate.
Well, and then, you know, I get it because it also throws everything else off. But I don't know. I just still say it's interesting to look at the market when you pull back and look at more than just a couple keys.
Yeah, you know what's funny about it too is, you know, I'm an old man now. I get off my lawn. It's terrible. Yeah, like Joe said, 9.4 for chumps, bro. Okay, we mess around here.
Buy a 9.8. I bet it's the same trend.
Yeah.
All right, we're on a Spider-Man tear here for a minute, just because there was a lot of it. Red Label newsstand, first Carnage.
Wow.
712. You sent me another one. I found this one and found it more amusing. The newsstands have been trending about 650, maybe 670. So this Red Label got about a 10% premium on them. I would assume they're not going to sub and try and resubmit, but who knows? I just like the Red Labels because I think they're cool and there just aren't a lot of them. So
that'd be cool, man.
I would have paid a premium on it.
Yeah, and for 10%, that's not crazy. I mean, that's nothing there in the long scheme. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I've got a 9.8 of the Secret Wars 8 Red Label that I like. So
I've been noticing that these have been selling, and I don't know if he means nicely priced raw sales, because I feel like there's been some really high raw sales on 361 too.
Every sale feels high priced on 361 anymore. I mean, it just is through the roof. Another one that popped up is interesting is a Maximum Carnage 1 Acclaim variant.
I love this.
With the mailer. I've never seen the mailer.
That's why it's so stinking cool to me. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Like, I love this stuff. I love having a book with the mailer. I've got, I bought a collection of Marvels and I saved one book because they had all had the original mailers in the back. I didn't save the whole collection. I saved one or two for me, but I thought it was cool. I've got a 19 40s giveaway book with a mailer, and to me that stuff is just crazy that somebody kept them together. Even from the 90s, it's crazy.
I mean, it's like your niche thing with date stamps on it. You know what I'm saying? Like a book that has like a 40s date stamp or a 50s date stamp. It's just that extra coolness factor.
Yeah. Just few raw sales. I mean, I didn't look into grades. 350 to 450 for them.
Big money. Huge money.
Yes.
We've been talking about this book on this show for so long, and I still don't own one.
So in the census, 128 total. For the 9.8, 9.6, 9.4 breakdown, it's 7, 20, and 20. A 9.8 sold in March for 4,500. I think we talked about it, but
my friend Keith gave me one of these that was in the dollar bin at Ides. He's like, "Here, you can buy this," and it was so fucked up. I sold it on eBay. Do you guys know who bought it?
I'm afraid to ask.
Comic Book Tom.
Shout out to Comic Book Tom. Great pickup.
Yeah. Then he grabbed a Big Booty Gwen or some Mexican Spider-Man Gwen book from me too.
Yeah.
But I kind of regret selling it. I'm like, I don't even. It wasn't like a placeholder. It was like my only one. It was just like, I want a nice one. And now they're like 2 G's for like a 9.4 or something ridiculous, dude. It's bananas.
They're tough. It's a freaking giveaway, man. More Spider-Man. This one,
It's beautiful.
I wish I'd seen this. I would have bought it. I like this one more than I like the 300 purely just because I think it pops more. This is the Marvel collectible classic Spider-Man #2. The #1's the 300 chromium.
Not signed, thank God.
This is 550 in the census. There are 5 10-0s, just in case you wanted to know.
No way.
10 9.9s and 438 9.8. So
Wow.
a lot of high numbers in the census, considering there's only 550.
They're mostly 9.8s, right?
Yeah.
Are they mostly 9.8s? Well, this book is very hard to not get in 9.8, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty heavy duty material. A 9.9 sold in 2018 for 5,500. In case you're wondering, no 10 sales on the census. I wouldn't sell a 10 if I had it. It's 1,200 in 2018. There was an 880 average in 2019, and in September it sold for 1,500. So somebody scored a pretty good deal on this guy. I tried to figure out why. I was like, did they spell it wrong? Did they do anything? I don't see anything wrong with the listing. I just think it snuck by. So, great grab, whoever the hell got it. I hope it's one of you yahoos in the audience.
All right, for real.
Let's see, what do we got? Couple sales on ASM 300 because just
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
we keep talking about it. 4,300, 4,451.
Oh
I mean, this
God.
book's all over the place. There's a high of 5,200.
How many copies are on the census?
Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. I didn't look anymore. I've talked about it too many times. A lot. 9.8s. I mean, I think there's a lot.
I give up.
But in the last 60 days, it's been anywhere from 2,100 to 5,200. It bounced up to 52, then down to the 3s, then up to the 4s. It's a wild ride. I don't know if you're buying or selling.
Can we talk about the other thing that you and I talked about? I don't know, was it Sunday, Saturday? I have since COVID started had a rash of unpaid buyers or unpaid books. People win auctions. I do auctions. You know what I mean? No reserve, rock and roll. It's a little bit of fun for me. What the hell do I care? Win some, lose some. You get some highs, get some lows. Provide me some excitement in my otherwise mundane life. And fuck me if people just won't pay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this real life? I mean, it happened, and okay, sure, that stuff happens every once in a while. But I mean, I'm talking about 2 or 3 a week for a second there until I just stopped listing books a couple weeks ago. And John, you just experienced it with some lower dollar books.
They paid eventually.
Did they? Okay. Yeah, but I mean, has anybody else experienced that? And I wonder if there's a lot of that going on too.
It definitely happens. I mean, you look at all even like the Facebook auctions and all those places that people be like, got books, people haven't paid, got books, people haven't paid, because they just get excited in the moment and they bid. And then they realize, no, I don't really want that.
Or they're intentionally trying to run numbers up.
That also happens too.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's chicanery going on at like unprecedented levels in the comic market, and our viewers should be acutely aware of that. I really, really do.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm only buying things I feel very confident in value of. I mean, I'm probably losing money not being wild and reckless, but it's not in me to do that. I don't. I will take the slow, steady wins at this point versus the roulette wheel of some of these books. Almost done. I got two more that were just interesting things that I don't see often. One was Nico's, one was mine. This one is one I'd never actually seen, and I can't.
They didn't even know how to fucking label it. That's why I ignored it.
Cursed Pirate Girl sketchbook. I've kind of tried to look at it. I can only find some eBay sales. I couldn't track anything further. They're saying it predates the Cursed Pirate Girl 1
I don't think
original
that's
print
true.
in 2006. Somewhere it says it's a promotional book. I can't verify or deny.
Yeah, I don't think anything like that is true. I think I remember when this shit came out, but I could be wrong. That's why I didn't put it on there. I was going to try to ask some people who might remember better than me. I love Jeremy Bastian, love Cursed Pirate Girl, but when CGC can't tell you like where the book's from, we're in trouble.
And again, I've talked about this book before, but if you're wanting something that predates Cursed Pirate Girl, get the Ye Old Lore of Yore from 2005, which definitively, predates. So I don't know. I just found it interesting. Somebody paid $1,000 for it.
Yeah, see, Mr. Cool saw that on Chatboard. I think I remember it on Chatboards like in 2009.
Yeah, I don't want to.
When it came, I think I remember when it came out though in 2009. I'm with John. I think please, if I'm wrong, let me know.
Well, I mean,
really
they
would like
could
to know
also
the
be
answer.
saying it predates the 2009 release.
Oh shit!
Because there's the 2006 and there's the 2009.
Interesting.
So I think you can.
Now that would all kind of make sense based on my
wordplay.
My crazy ass. My memory's good, but it's not perfect.
No, so I wouldn't indicate going to buy it. I just thought it interesting. And then this one, you piqued my interest just because the original cover art for Spider-Gwen 25 variant, the Gwenum, $3,000 is not a terrible price for that piece.
No, it is not at all. I was just like, oh, someone stole this.
$2,000 to $3,000 feels like the norm for a decent cover, right?
Yeah, but that particular cover,
and this is a really good one. Well, is it really that great to own? Like, it's a good cover to own because of Gwenum, but it's not a really great cover to own for OA. Yeah,
well, it's because of the homage, I think.
Yeah,
and it's Gwenum, and it's Spider-Gwen 25. I think it checks a lot of boxes. But John and I were looking at a Carnage piece that I think would have been a way better piece to buy. I wish he would have snagged it.
I pushed out. There was it was the first splash page of Absolute Carnage. Was it Ultimate Carnage? Whatever the first issue of that Maximum Carnage storyline, where he's in the Anthony Hopkins mask being wheeled through. I think I put 2,800 on it. I think it went double what I put. So
yeah,
I did see the guy on Facebook post it, and I was like, "Congrats, you bastard!"
This isn't really that great, in my opinion, a cover to own because 2/3 of it is just blacked out with marker. You know what I mean? Like,
I understand, but from a visual look, it does have it just in our reptile brains is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad buy if you are, because it checks the Spider-Man, checks the Spider-Gwen, checks the Gwen. I would not consider it a bad purchase.
We'll see. It is a store variant, so
who knows? What do we know?
It's weird to see. It's really weird to see Ed McGuinness art not look like Ed McGuinness art.
Yeah, it's fair.
Oh wow, craziness. You guys got any pickups?
Somebody go first. I didn't pull mine out yet.
I got an order coming, but it's not in the mail. It's probably going to be here next week, probably.
I literally decided to open these up here so people could actually see what I paid for them.
Nice.
Because I feel like a lot of pickups suck because we don't like ever tell people we actually fucking pay for shit. Oh,
Yeah.
I did order these.
You want to go first?
Yeah. So this first one, I was like, did I fucking order those books? You're goddamn right I did. Out the motherfucking door. Thank you, Reed Pop. I appreciate it. Bye. See you later. You're gone. So that's numero uno. If you want to know how much those cost, I'm sorry they didn't put in a receipt, but how much were they? Anybody remember? Like, was it $40 a piece or something?
No idea.
Well, yeah, they were. That was the number one book on the top 10 like last week. Nobody cares.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, people in the live chat are like, no, we don't care. We sell those books. We don't buy them. Anyway, I'll be selling mine here soon. I'll have to look at them and see if they're 9.8 contenders. If they are, I'll be slabbing them and then selling them. All right, this is one that, John, you'll be interested in. This one's freaking awesome. So I paid, I think $60 for this thing. Okay. And this is Winner Chicken Dinner on my, long list. Like, people say you can't buy Golden Age books cheap.
No, you can. It's right days.
The fuck you can't, right? Like, I do it. You do it. Hell, you've helped me do it. Let's see here. So this one is fucking awesome for $60. You know this cover, right?
Huh.
You know who this is?
No.
Or what this is? That's Wortham.
It's what?
Wortham. Bound and Gagged.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
$60. Winner.
I've not
Chicken
seen that one before.
Dinner.
Who is it?
Wortham. Mr. Comic books are going to ruin people's lives. They're deplorable. They've
Yeah, from
destroyed our
Saudi.
children.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he can piss off. And then this one, I think I told both of you guys about this. This one's one I have been looking for about, I don't know, 18 months. I've seen 0 copies, and my friend Keith, again, who's getting all kinds of Nerdbox Comics, getting all kinds of play here on the podcast, was kind enough to be like, bro, I'm out of money on my PayPal. You buy it right stinking now. And I was like, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And, what's great about the CGC boards, those guys are fucking bosses when it comes to shipping books. Like, look at this. Is this fucking glorious what he did?
Wow.
Double boxed. Argamoto, I think, was the seller.
He's old school, right? I remember that name.
Strong as they come.
Yeah.
Fucking exceptional books. He's got exceptional books, and they're priced right. I mean, I think I stole this. You guys will all think I'm nuts for how much I spent. Maybe not John, because I know what he does, and maybe not you, but I would say everybody that's watching is probably going to be like, yeah, you're fucking out of your mind. So I paid. Look at this. Look at this guy. Who is this dude? I mean,
I don't know if I'm ever see a book.
dude, he's the world's greatest. I mean, remember when I put your brother as like top shipper ever?
Well, this guy's using every method I've ever seen as being good and combined them.
Yeah, I mean, he just really like went, above and beyond, as strong as they come.
JJ Max was like, back up like that, or why you do it before pickup.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be like this. For the record, I thought it was just going to be like slip. All right. So
Okay. Oh yeah, we talked about that one.
The 35-cent price variant for the first appearance of the Starjammers.
Very nice.
There's 30 copies on the census. I paid $7.75. It's the first one I've seen in 2 years, and it's a gorgeous copy.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with those price variants. Are freaking tough.
Yeah, so the like the Star Wars one, the Sabretooth, right? The Iron Fist 14, and this one are the big ones. With this one and the Sabretooth being like the super small census. I think it is unquestionably the rarest Claremont book. They're all mad because they went through that for Starjammers, right? Richtman leaked Starjammers as and the guy's just fucking like, I don't know, 80 for fucking 80 so far. But Starjammers and a couple other characters are some of the only ones that haven't hit yet. He says that they're headed for the MCU. So I'll take that one as the rarest Claremont book with potential film or TV appeal. I'm done.
Cool.
All right, I can go.
Okay.
I'm going to do something different. I bought a set, a foreign comic set. Somebody needed money.
Oh,
I bought the whole thing. All the known ones. I paid $1,300. I don't know. It felt like a good buy. And whatever. It is what it is. I got an American Luke Cage Hero for Hire #1. I talked about it a few weeks ago. I think it's an undervalued book, or at least one with a lot of upside that's kind of sleeping giant. This is not a particularly high grade copy, but it's the copy that came in the set. I haven't even had a chance to bag and reboard these, so they are and what they are, and some of these books have weird bags. This one's a tough one. Brazil.
Nice.
Try and get any of those.
Good luck.
One of the Nordic countries, I didn't do enough research on this one yet. Later Brazil, one of the minis. The Mundi. The Yaffa out of Australia, which didn't used to be hard, but they apparently do not come up very often anymore.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Talking to Matt, this one was a really, really tough one. The Mac from Mexico. These Mac books are really, really hard to find. They're very kind of shit paper quality too, but really pretty with the blue and all of that. Two more. It's only a 9-book set. This one is questionable because it's not really the true cover, but it's in the set because it's the #1 South African edition. So to me, that they even had a Hero for Hire in South Africa is a bit interesting. It's a little later. It's from '85.
That's beautiful, man. Holy shit.
But for kind of a piece of history, I'll take that.
That is super sweet, dude. I love that.
Exactly. The book I actually bought it for. There's one that stood out to me as like, oh shit.
And it wasn't that one?
Yeah, right? What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, right. That was like in the line. This one stood out. Hold on.
Oh wow.
Italian. You know I love Italian.
Yeah, it's
All black
gorgeous.
cover. 9.0 from 1973 Italian book.
Yeah,
Wow.
would you get a time machine to get that, or?
Yeah, I mean, there's only one in the CBCS census. I don't think there's any in CGC, or at least I couldn't freaking locate it.
Did you buy it from Doc Brown?
I wish, right? It's freaking unbelievable. And it looks at least a 9. So I don't even know if I wanted to do something with it, could it go higher? It is stunning. So I don't know if Carnage will ever catch up to anything, but to me, this is just a book you won't freaking see again. So happy to have it. Like I said, the other ones, the set was the set. It's cool that I got a full set. I don't have many of them. Honestly, I might sell the American and fund a higher grade one at some point. But
Was it a seller from the United States?
yeah, it was a guy from the group.
Okay.
needed to move and relocate, needed some money, and he priced it what I thought was fair.
Geez, that
Other
you have
people
more?
looked at it and said, "Who bought that?" And I'm like, "I did." I'm like, "I think that was a great price. You can't put it together for that." I mean, 8 books from foreign countries. I'd pay 40 books. I mean, that's $300 in shipping just to get them here. So,
Yeah, it's not bad. All right. All right, let's see here. I have one that I can open. My first one I'm going to open. I just got this today.
hope it's not packaged like Nico's.
No, this is nice and easy. This is from, where's this from? 616 Comics. I don't even know what this is.
Nice. I ordered books from them. I'm waiting on them.
But this is much easier to open than Nico's, that's for sure. And it looks like he does a decent job packaging. We'll see. All right. At least he doesn't tape it to the stupid backing board.
I hate when people do that.
Crazy, man. All right. And he's got freaking painter's tape on there. Hell yeah.
No,
Great job
they
packing.
read the manual.
Great job packing. And this is a nice book. I saw what it was. Nice.
What is that?
Oh, dude, you got them.
Yeah. I totally
Well done,
forgot
sir.
about them. Yeah, these are the foil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I saw Solo Wookie had gotten his, and I'm like, did I buy those?
I'm
Those are
jealous.
beautiful.
Well done. I missed
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, my dog's over here. They're glaring, reflecting things onto the wall. My dog's going crazy. So, yeah, very cool. So
I don't do
yeah.
many store variants, but I might have pulled the trigger if I'd paid attention to that.
I think this might be the one that I picked up from Wonder World, if I remember correctly. And this is a little bit of shout out to Ultra Maximus and Drunken Chat fun, but they go deep over there. Ultra has always got some fun stuff that he's talking about, and that's usually where most of my purchases come from recently. But I picked up this Dynamic Forces just because I look at the Dynamic Forces stuff. I still search them on eBay, and I forgot that they made this Dynamic Forces set for all the Spider characters, but this is the Spider-Gwen one. So I think they have a connecting cover with Silk, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man, and maybe one more. But as you can see, it's got the Dynamic Forces stuff.
Very
And
cool.
yeah, so there's that. This is another one from Ultra that I picked up. The all-new Wolverine. I like this all-new Wolverine run. I always have. I think there's some really great books in this run. I've got I picked up I think it's the number 2 variant. That is the one that everybody wants so much. I picked up one of those when it first came out just because I thought it was so gorgeous. It's an homage to X-Men 132 or 33. I can't remember. I always say I'm going to remember what it was.
Is
but
that
the one
the second print?
This is the variant. I can't remember what it is. I think it is the second print. Ultra, if he's in chat. Yeah. Ultra, if is in chat. Here we go. So it was.
Those are qualifiers. Okay.
Yeah, these were the qualifiers. I guess they were part of a connecting set. So I picked up this one, and while I was, obviously eating with the rest of the sharks out there, I saw this one, and I couldn't pass it up because it was so cheap.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is all new Wolverine number 1, the Marquez variant, which is really cool. So I got it for really cheap. So I like shit like that. I finally got myself a couple Infinity frames. Shout out to birdcitycomics.com. Got myself some nice Infinity frames. And of course, I was running low on comic barricades, so I grabbed some extra comic barricades.
Very nice.
Those are my pickups for this week.
All right, Deno, what you got bringing back to the game?
I have 0 things, even though I spent a
Shit ton of money.
Yeah. So and it's not on comic books. So
But it's on the new club.
yeah, the new club.
Yeah. How many polls are we gonna have? We gonna get an extra poll on this one?
Oh boy, we might.
No polls. Maybe no polls. Holy
Maybe
shit! I
no
like that
poll.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta move some things around. I gotta do some things. Health inspector came by, didn't like the old one. We got to pass inspection now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's it's funny. I guess we can segue into this topic. I guess when you build your new man cave, I don't even know what to do really. I mean, I want to put my comics down there, obviously, and like shelving, like I had it at my old house. But it's like I'm thinking display wise, like do I just put shelves in the background? Do you do it like a Black Cat where he has like the the long ass shelves like that, or I don't know. Things I'm thinking about.
I think
Brian's got the infinity frames he showed.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of ways. Listen, I think that's something that one of the shows, not to give anything away, but one of the shows is going to be doing some talking about like cool things that are part of the hobby that aren't necessarily comic books, like i.e. Furniture or display type stuff, and kind of review that stuff. We have that in the works, so you guys keep your eye out for that. But that would be a perfect thing, Deno, is to show you making your basement into a
CGC's got spinner racks for slabs too, which is pretty interesting.
Ooh, that's a great.
Well, I found these, which somebody's just 3D printing as for behind me here. Like
that's not bad.
$3 a pop. I'm like, all right, and I could test with those just to kind of be something to get a few books up.
What are those ones that we used to use to hang them, Z? Because you can spin those around and use them as stands. Also, they're a little bit bigger. The
oh yeah.
What were those things called?
Yeah, right next to me, but I don't.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of really cool stuff on what product to display. There you go.
Collector mount.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and you could spin them around to stand them up.
I'm gonna give people the exclusive preview of the La Casa. So so this big L room is my bedroom / office. Theoretically it's a bedroom, but it's gonna be an office. So I boxed this in. This is a wall. It has like a sliding door here, but I'm thinking if I put my table this way, I have studs back here where I can hang like wall stuff down there. Like if I want to do slabs or shelves or something of that nature, maybe go this way with it. I don't know. Things I'm peculiar in my mind because I don't know.
This is the best part about this whole thing is this stage where you're coming up with ideas and you're planning shit out.
Yeah, it's been expensive, boys. It's been very, very expensive.
I've been selling books. I think I'm gonna, I got that Harley art in the other day. I'm gonna try and frame some art. Is what I want to do. So we'll see if I can.
That's the other thing. So I got the cool prints that I have, like the Jim Lee print. I got that Mr. Freeze that I could put in the bag. I got cool shit I got in the bag. I can throw a bunch of shit down, but it's like, I don't know. It's just how do I do it and how do I make I thought about just doing the behind me, maybe just black, just straight do a black wall in the back. I don't know. I mean, it's my room. It's, who cares? Nobody's gonna when I
green screen paint that shit. Just paint it all in green screen color, and then you can be anywhere in the world.
I thought about that too.
That would be fun, dude.
I told the wife that I would kind of do that. Because we were looking at green kind of, and I was like, that'd be cool. But then I was like, but then I can't hang stuff, and if I hang stuff, I could just make like a green screen, like how Ben has it, where he just green screens it up with whatever.
You could have put a sheet.
Because I have no ceiling, so that's the other thing, boys. I painted my ceiling black.
Show Seaborn.
That's a great idea, Doc Joe. Like that is a great idea. I always loved those frames that they came out with back in the day, the digital frames, and you could just put 1,000 pictures on there and hang it on the wall. That's a great idea. I don't have one I got like a small one. Those are expensive now, man. I got one for the wife, and somebody got it for us. And you can like give it to like your ID to family and friends, and they can send you photos, which is cool. But if I had like my friends, they'd be sending me illicit pics. But
I would.
But it's cool. But I mean, like a little one was like $100. It was expensive. I mean, theoretically, but Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I got the 52-inch TV that I'm not going to have anymore because I'm going to put it in the living room. That's on the other side of the area. So I got to get another monitor. And I only want to, like, you know how we talk about it, McClay, like, you know how the boys have, like the breakers have like the third monitor, but it's like on the ceiling, so they always look up, and it's just, you know, things I got to think about that.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's so fun. Yeah.
I spent a lot of money, boys, and I procured we'll call it building materials. So
I like it.
Not bad. All right. So basically, I think that's probably it for the night, guys. We want to remind everybody one last time to go check out this gorgeous cover set over at birdcitycomics.com. They're running a 24-hour sale right now. Got some good deals on the whole set. I really like the B cover. Again, this is a Jim Lee inks over Scott Williams pencils, kind of flip the script on them. And there's a regular trade dress with Alex Sinclair colors and a virgin trade dress, I guess, or non-trade dress. And then, of course, there is these awesome new covers that they are doing. Ice Cream Man number 21, which is a pretty sweet cover, pretty interesting. And we're hearing that the whole issue is Watchman-esque, which is very interesting. This is the Megan Hutchinson limited art to 500, and the Vampirella number 16 John Royal limited to 500. Both of these books go on sale Wednesday, but of course you can find the Batman ones available now. Batman, Catwoman, Black series. What a great cover. So, other than that, guys, we will see you next week. Adios.